In 2014, I was invited to join my former commanding officer, Stan Mcchrystal, as a co-author in writing Team of Teams. Our goal in writing it was to offer our view on why the military models of the 20th century were fundamentally misaligned with the realities of an information age battlefield. The speed and interconnectivity of this new type of conflict forced the senior leadership within our branch of the special operations community to make a choice: lead us through a culture change or potentially lose the fight against Al-Qaeda. They chose the former. Team of Teams explored a simple idea that sat at the epicenter of the challenge in making this culture change. How can large organizations move with the speed and agility of a small team? In that vein, our writing team laid out the reactive small team dynamics that are so powerfully highlighted within the special operations units, as well as in any number of other high-performing teams. We explained that a small team's ability to quickly adapt comes from the combination of four key drivers. First, their members trust one another. Second, they are bound by a sense of common purpose, a shared ideology or purposeful trait. Third, given the size and rich interconnectivity of a small team, they can create a sense of shared consciousness amongst the group, a state in which all members have a common understanding of their mutually held problem set, shared access to key information, and are aligned in the direction they need to move next. You felt this, most likely, in small teams you've been on, but recreating this state at scale and with necessary regularity is a far greater challenge. With these three initial factors in place, the fourth and final quality can exist: empowered execution. The ultimate goal in today's quickly changing environment for an organization is the ability to decentralize decision-making rights down to those actors closest to the issues. Empowered execution was, for the special operations community, the key to moving as fast or faster than the rate of change in our external environment. Empowered execution creates the space for teams to act with autonomy, but as it is coupled with the influence of shared consciousness, it is high accountability, and therefore risk-reduced autonomy. The book we wrote found an audience with senior leaders across many industries. From the reading list of the Commandant of the Marine Corps to Walmart CEO Doug Macmillan's 2016 list of must-reads, the book's ideas found receptive audiences in some of the world's most seasoned and credentialed leaders. Even with Team of Teams as a frame, however, readers have continued to ask us a common series of questions. I accept the premise, but how exactly do we implement this model? Or, what are the most important steps to focus on when attempting a team of teams? Or even, how does a forum with thousands of people not devolve into total chaos? To this day, I'll also often get another line of questioning, meant to be respectful of our team's efforts in conflict, but which expresses a healthy skepticism about whether lessons from a modern battlefield can truly apply to other realms. What your organization did was impressive, but it's different here. In the military, you can just give orders, and subordinates have to follow. It's not like that in the civilian world. If there are any former military folks in the room, they will invariably chuckle at this. I was on active duty for just over 15 years, and I can't think of a single time that I ever truly gave or received an order like the one you might imagine from watching a war movie, in which a higher-ranking officer's harsh words are universally adhered to and respected by those under their command. That approach doesn't work well in the conventional military, and it falls even further short in the special operations community, where triple-selected, highly qualified, and deeply experienced personalities don't take kindly to being ordered by an officer with less practical experience than they possess. Regardless of context, a leader cannot simply command people what to do and expect them to wholeheartedly follow. Rather, their task should be to guide teams, influence their decision-making, and give them appropriate but not overly restrictive guardrails. But guardrails like this are impossible to establish without one critical factor: an organizational model that retains stability where necessary, while also allowing for the distributed decision-making that is mandated by our information age. Many of the questions I've received, of course, can be compounded into the following line: what are the practical and tangible steps that business leaders must take if they are to build their own team of teams? Team of Teams told our story and made an argument about the final state that modern organizations need to arrive at to succeed, but it was not a practicum on how to reach that goal. Our intent herein is to offer just that, to provide leaders with a sense of the necessary steps to creating a team of teams. Having spent several years both experiencing and observing as this change took hold in its original context, I had the good fortune to be exposed to the inner workings of this model. As a tactical level junior leader in our organization, I was positioned to feel the impact that these practices were having on the organization. As an operational level leader, I was responsible for helping implement these changes. But most interestingly, as Mcchrystal's aide-de-camp during his final year commanding our task force, I had a front row seat to how these practices were working from a strategic perspective. Such a chief of staff type role is becoming more in demand in private sector organizations. After spending a year perched at this tier of our organization, as an observer of the systems that made the enterprise work, I had finally completed a kaleidoscopic view of our reformation. Having ricocheted from leading SEAL elements on the ground to helping synchronize these efforts from different operational level positions, to finally facilitating our senior leadership's interaction with our 1,000-strong, globally distributed enterprise, I now had a condensed view on how our organization had once operated, how it changed, and what right looked like. If you're interested in a first-hand narrative about counterterrorism raids or tracking down al-Qaeda cells, writings by other service members offer much better perspectives on the ground-level realities of our fight than I could ever hope to produce. Their invaluable stories have shaped our generation's understanding of recent conflict, and their voices are increasingly critical to ongoing discussions about national roles in an increasingly complex world. Instead, the pages ahead discuss the transformation of an organization and are intended as a practicum for how that evolution might be replicated by others. The book ahead will communicate those lessons and offer you a tangible guide to building your own team of teams, walking you through the process of transforming from traditional silos into what we will refer to as a hybrid organizational model. In chapters 1 and 2, we'll explore the critical concept of one mission, which must sit at the heart of a team of teams. We will also explore the history of traditional bureaucratic models, then show why today's environment is simply misaligned with such systems, which so many of us have been conditioned to accept. After these first 2 chapters, we will come to the heart of this work, an introduction to the concrete practices that, when used, will help an organization form networks amongst its teams and embody a hybrid model. Each of these practice-focused sections, dedicated to exploring one specific process or concept, will also be accompanied by a case study from a civilian organization that has successfully implemented the subject matter. These case studies will follow a consistent pattern, providing background on the organization, the setup, the issue it was working to solve, the problem, the solutions that were implemented, the solution, and the results that ultimately followed, the outcome.